I am change.
If someone is in an environment where they aren't being asked the questions and being pushed to pursue these higher types of education because they are a minority or because they're different, it can really create a gap between the majority and the minority.
I went to a public school back in Rhode Island, and it's an urban school. We definitely had our own issues with students dropping out and not making it to senior year. I know we had I think half of our class didn't make it from freshman year to senior year. So I think it's just it's definitely something we need to address. It's something we need to do better on as a whole country, as a whole school system. And the people that end up not making it is what definitely affects me most, because a lot of them are people that I know, people I grew up with, people that look like my family. So it's really hard to see all of these issues and to know that they're still going on year after year.
So it's always great to start early and exposing your mind to all different types of cultures and different types of learning, mathematics, reading, and just getting used to that way of learning so that it won't be hard in the future, because work will get harder the older you get. But if you adapt to it earlier, it wouldn't be hard because you're used to it.
Youth is good if it's positive, but when we have positive role models, then that can be helpful for us too, because they've been in our place before, and we can emulate what they did. We can, not imitation, but emulation, because when we emulate, we try to surpass them. We think, okay, I want to be just like that, but I also want to exceed what they're doing.
One of the teachers at Cardinal Ritter, Mr. Lyons, he's a big inspiration to me because he challenges me so much, but it's not like a challenge that's bad. He challenges you to go outside your comfort zone, to be who you are, but also exceed others' expectations of you.
Who do I look up to? Well, I think one story is my granddad back there. My granddad, oh well, he was, his story is amazing. He started off as a sharecropper in Mississippi, and then he moved to St. Louis and, got a factory job, and now he's happily retired with a nice Chrysler 300 outside. But, it's not the orthodox way to the top, but, he basically just did the old-fashioned way of just working really hard, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be.
I grew up in a single-parent household. It was just my mother and I. I was the only child. So, having positive male role models was like a void in my life. And so that's why, as a kid, my mom put me in Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And so, my big brother, he was in graduate school at the time. It's ironic, I'm in grad school now. He kind of served as that person to say, okay, there's people out there that do have a desire to stick with education all the way through the highest levels and go on to make, something out of themselves.
What steps could you take to help?
I think the biggest thing I can do is be the best that I can be, is to serve as a role model, do my best to show others that you can do it. Like everybody, I've had my trials and tribulations. My story isn't the best. I've been through things, and I know how it feels to be verbally abused. I get it.
I have seen people within the community who have been very active encouragers, such as the Demetrius Johnson, the Better Family Life Foundation, and their American Graduate Program that encourage you to stay in school and to let them know that there's always a way out.
That's a huge key of believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then nothing is possible. It's a thing in psychology that we call learned helplessness. It's when you basically, it's a stimulus that repeats itself, and you feel like nothing's going to change. And so most people believe that their parents grew up in poverty, that their parents grew up in poverty, they keep having a cycle that is going to keep happening, but you got to break this. And part of believing in yourself is, again, changing your views on society.
I say this, never let someone tell you that you can't do something, especially if where they're going in life is nowhere past where you've been. Never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, especially if they haven't done what you're trying to do. Because we are all capable of achieving great things, and we all have potential for greatness. So always remember that there's hope. Encourage yourself and believe in yourself, and most importantly, love yourself.
Loving oneself isn't hard when you understand who and what yourself is. It has nothing to do with the shape of your face, the size of your eyes, the length of your hair, or the quality of your clothes. It's so beyond all of those things, and it's what gives life to everything about you. Your own self is such a treasure. You have to sit kind of quietly and ask, who am I? Who am I really?
Stop trying to fit in, be yourself. That's how I feel.
Judgment, yeah, that's a big thing in society right now. People are afraid of being judged, but I also feel that if you are who you are, then you shouldn't be afraid to be. This thing is conformity, and so if you conform to society, then you're basically a part of that stereotype. You're part of that stereotype, but in order to break the stereotype, you must not be afraid to be judged, because I'm told that I'm very different. I'm different. Like, and I dress, like the way I act is different, and so I'm not afraid to be judged. And so I think if you constantly just confront judgment with your own views, then you'll break this cycle, I guess.
Gambaru, a Japanese term which means never give up, especially if there's no chance of winning. Self-determination.
When I was in middle school, I had a lot going on at home, and it was really, really hard to focus in class. And my problem is that I was like a really, really good student. In middle school, I was like the top of my class, and then all of a sudden, my grades started dropping. And at that point, it got like the school administration, they noticed that when your grades start dropping, the school gets involved, and they tried to make that help me, but it really hurt me. And I feel like that's a problem for a lot of kids, because if the administration is pulling you out, you have too many people trying to counsel you, trying to help you, it really doesn't help you focus on your academics.
I can remember just going to school every single day and not putting effort into anything. Ever since the 4th grade, I've been moving around from city to city, so it was just like this inconsistency, this constant movement that just made me bored with school, just made me give up. Freshman year, I wasn't even doing good in high school. I ended freshman year with a 2.8, and sophomore year something clicked. At the end of sophomore year, I got a 3.4, and it just raised that high. And I don't know what, I think it was more so jealousy and anger. I was angry that my mom, I wasn't angry at my mom, I was angry with, I guess, the world, because my mom was 15 when she had me, when she had my sister, and 16 when she had me in high school, and she went straight to college afterwards and didn't stop till she got her master's. And so I'm like, she can get her master's and just do all this, and she's breaking the stereotypes of teen pregnancy, not going to college, and why can't anybody give her a job? Why can't anybody help our struggle stop? And so I think I was jealous of the doctors I saw, like everybody around I saw striving, and so I'm like, you know what, I want that too.
Well, being first generation in the United States, it kind of hit home to me, because I understand the struggles and everything has to take in order for me to graduate. I obviously had a lot of help throughout my childhood. My mom became a teacher just so she can educate me the way she wants me to be educated. Spanish is my first language, and because I first lived in Miami, Florida, and everybody spoke Spanish there. I lived in a Spanish community. And when I moved to St. Louis, I was about 3 or 4 years old. We moved to St. Louis, and that's when I started learning English. I was put in many speech classes, so that was kind of difficult for me to go through.